Have you ever felt like life is passing you by? Like everyone else is ahead and you're stuck, falling behind? The truth is, you are exactly where you need to be. Today we'll explore 5 profound Buddhist lessons that will free you from comparison, self-doubt, and regret. Let's begin. Feeling behind in life is an illusion. The only timeline that exists is the one you create for yourself. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises when we cling to expectations, especially those imposed by society. The truth is, you are not late, nor are you early. You are on your own path, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. The more you resist where you are, the more you suffer. Acceptance is the key to peace. When you understand that there is no fixed path, you free yourself from the chains of comparison and self-judgment. Impermanence is one of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism. Everything changes, including your circumstances, your emotions, and your sense of self. Feeling behind is a symptom of attachment to an idea of where you should be. But the nature of life is flux. Nothing is permanent, not even the feeling of being stuck. Just as the seasons shift without effort, so too does your journey. The more you cling to a specific timeline, the more resistance you create. But if you allow yourself to flow with life, you will see that every moment holds value, whether you perceive it as progress or not. Comparison is suffering. The modern world bombards us with curated images of other people's successes, making it seem as though everyone is ahead. But Buddhism teaches that comparison is an illusion. Each person walks a different path. The lotus flower blooms in its own time, never rushing, never questioning whether it is too late. The same is true for you. Growth is not measured by external milestones, but by inner transformation. A tree does not compare its growth to the tree beside it, it simply grows. When you embrace this truth, you begin to release the burden of measuring yourself against others. Attachment to outcomes creates frustration. We are conditioned to believe that happiness lies in achievement, in reaching a specific destination. But the Buddha taught that the root of suffering is attachment. If you only find joy in results, you will always chase the next goal, never satisfied, never at peace. The true path to fulfillment lies in presence. A monk carving a statue does not focus on when it will be finished. He finds joy in each chisel stroke. If you feel behind, ask yourself, are you too fixated on the outcome? Can you learn to find meaning in the process itself? Growth happens in silence. Just because you do not see immediate progress does not mean nothing is happening. A seed beneath the soil appears still, yet its roots are expanding, preparing for its inevitable bloom. Your progress is the same. There are phases of visible movement and phases of quiet transformation. Just because the world does not see your growth does not mean it is not occurring. Be patient. Trust the unseen. The deepest changes often happen beneath the surface before they manifest externally. The more you trust the process, the more peace you will find in the journey. Everything is temporary, including stagnation. It is easy to believe that if things are not moving now, they never will. But the nature of life is movement. Just as the tides rise and fall, just as the sun sets and returns, your life is in constant motion, even when it seems still. The mind tricks you into believing that what is now will always be. But the only constant is change. If you feel behind, understand that this moment is fleeting. It will shift, just as all things do. Your only task is to be present and open to what unfolds next. Letting go of the illusion of control is freedom. We try to control the pace of our lives, forcing things to happen on our preferred timeline. But Buddhism teaches that clinging to control creates suffering. The river does not resist its flow. It moves with the current, adjusting as it goes. Life operates the same way. The more you try to control time, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you surrender to the natural rhythm of your journey, you begin to move with life rather than against it. This is where true peace is found. Your worth is not defined by achievements. Society conditions us to measure our value based on accomplishments, but Buddhism teaches that our inherent worth is beyond external success. The sky does not become more valuable when the sun rises, or less valuable when it sets. It simply exists, vast and infinite. You are the same. Whether you have achieved certain milestones or not, you remain whole. Your worth is not tied to what you do, but to the fact that you are. Recognizing this liberates you from the pressure of proving yourself and allows you to live with greater ease. The past and future are illusions. Feeling behind comes from dwelling on the past or fearing the future. But Buddhism teaches that neither truly exists. The past is only a memory, and the future is only a thought. The only reality is the present moment. If you spend your time regretting what you didn't do or worrying about what is yet to come, you miss the only moment that truly belongs to you, now. When you embrace this, you release the weight of should have and what if, and step fully into the peace of the present. Your journey is yours alone. There is no universal timeline for success, love, happiness, or fulfillment. Every being moves at its own pace. A butterfly emerging later than others is not behind. It is simply following its own cycle. The pressure to keep up with others is an illusion created by comparison. When you release the belief that you must be at a certain place by a certain time, you allow yourself the freedom to grow naturally, in alignment with your own inner rhythm. There is no rush. There is only your path, unfolding as it is meant to. Fear of judgment keeps you stuck. Many people hesitate to take their own path because they fear what others will think. But Buddhism teaches that other people's opinions are projections of their own mind, not reflections of your reality. A monk once said, "What others think of me is none of my business." If you allow fear of judgment to dictate your actions, you surrender your power. Instead, focus on your own truth. The only opinion that truly matters is the one you hold about yourself. Walk your path with confidence, knowing that external validation is fleeting. Detachment from expectations leads to liberation. We suffer when reality does not match our expectations, but when we release expectations, we find peace. If you believe you should be further along, ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Who decided what the correct pace is? When you let go of the need for things to be different, you begin to appreciate them as they are. The lotus does not bloom on command. It blooms when conditions are right. Your journey follows the same principle. Trust that you are growing in exactly the way you are meant to. Happiness is not in the future. It is now. Many people believe they will be happy when they reach a goal, when they find success, when things change. But Buddhism teaches that happiness is found only in the present. If you cannot find contentment where you are now, you will not find it anywhere else. External circumstances change, but inner peace is cultivated. Waiting for happiness to arrive later is a trap. The truth is, you can experience joy in this very moment, regardless of where you are in life. The key is presence and gratitude for what is. Suffering comes from resisting reality. The more you fight against where you are, the more you create pain. But when you accept the present moment fully, without resistance, suffering dissolves. This does not mean giving up on progress. It means moving forward with peace, rather than frustration. Acceptance is not stagnation. It is clarity. When you see things as they are, instead of how you wish they were, you respond with wisdom rather than struggle. The Buddha taught that true freedom comes not from changing circumstances, but from changing our relationship to them. Your purpose is not a destination. Many people search endlessly for their purpose, believing it is something they must find. But Buddhism teaches that purpose is not a fixed point. It is created in each moment. You do not need to reach a certain stage to be meaningful. Your existence itself is purpose enough. Each act of kindness, each moment of presence, each step taken with intention is fulfilling its purpose. The search for something greater often blinds us to the beauty of what already is. Purpose is not waiting ahead. It is alive in you now.